Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay. I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay. I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay. I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay. I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay. I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, everyone, we're just going to be starting in about 2 minutes. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, that should probably fix the issue. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know. Just want to make sure that it's coming through okay now. Okay, that should probably fix the issue. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know. Just want to make sure that it's coming through okay now. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know. Just want to make sure that it's coming through okay now. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know. Just want to make sure that it's coming through okay now. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know. Just want to make sure that it's coming through okay now. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, that should. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. Just stand by, please. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay, that should. Okay. If someone can just type in the chat to let me know if my volume is okay, I want to make sure everyone hears me. Okay. All right, let's see if this stops. Okay. All right, let's see if this stops. Okay. All right, I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. All right, I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right. I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on right now. I apologize for the screeching and the echoing. I just need to know if it's any better now. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. We're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, I'm working on right now. I'm working on right now. We're gonna get rid of the screeching. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. We're gonna get rid of the screeching. Oh no, thank you guys. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the screeching. Let me just. Oh no, thank you guys. Okay, maybe that'll work now. Oh, thank you, Jessica. That was very sweet of you. I just turned the desktop audio off, so I'm hoping that that works. Hello? Any better? Yay, it's working now. Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Perfect. Okay, let's get started. All right, I apologize for that. Some people are saying that they still can't hear me. I can turn the volume up a little bit. That's not an issue. Hello, is that any better? Okay, so I turned my volume up. All right, let's see. All right, hold on. Let's see. My volume, yes, you can see my volume is all the way up. I know you can see my screen right now. And this wasn't an issue the last time, so now, okay. Okay, all right, so we're gonna get started. And yes, this is going to be recorded. You can just leave it playing on your desktop if you need to use the bathroom or get a drink or something. Then don't feel like you're stuck to a chair for however long this takes. I'm going to record it. It'll be posted later on. Just kind of keep a note to yourself as to like kind of what time it is, so you know that when you go back, you don't have to sit there and watch the whole video all over again. You can always go back and kind of go to the time where you missed whatever it was. Okay. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so everyone, my name is Lisa. Okay, I'm from New York, and I'm sure you can probably tell by my accent, but I am an E&L teacher. I work at the high school level, although I do have experience working with childhood and early childhood. I've worked with students with disabilities, and I am currently certified to be an administrator. So I'm kind of all over the place right now, looking for another job. And I love teaching, but I have realized through this quarantine that I really want to kind of go into administration. So Here we go. So today we're going to be going over a bunch of interactive games and activities that you can use with your students. They're super fun to create. They're also they'll help with engagement in your classroom. It's a different way than kind of putting a PDF where students can just fill in responses, like which I feel is kind of just like drumming, kind of boring. Um, really using the technology gives us the opportunity to, the sky's the limit. So one of the first things that we're going to be going over today is money counting games. So this was something that I came up with, and this is although this is elementary, you can really change the idea. Just use the types of things that I can that I'm showing you the techniques, and you can change any kind of theme that you want. Okay, I see people on here from Canada. Yeah, I always love to know where everybody's from because this is like the most exciting part for me is really getting a chance to connect with people all over the world. So, um, yeah, my volume on my mic is unfortunately all the way up already, so I'll try to speak a little louder. Um, but here we go. So this was just something that I came up with. It was a game that I named Brain Freeze, and it's a money counting game. So it's just a fun way for kids to demonstrate that they know how much money is worth and if they can come up with the right amount of change to pay for an ice cream. So, especially with the summer coming, this is a fun thing that if you're teaching summer school, it would be a great activity to do with kids. So here, it just says how much you need for the ice cream in the circle. Okay, so obviously that's 50 cents. And then they have to choose which amount of money is correct. So obviously it's not going to be the $1, and I'm going to show you how to link that. Okay, I'm going to show you how to create this because what will end up happening is when you click the wrong answer, this is the screen that'll pop up, and when you click the correct answer, obviously she gets the ice cream. So I'm just going to show you how I did this. I pulled images off of Google, and you could do the same thing. So I found like a picture of different types of ice cream that you might see on a picture on the side of a truck. And then I just cropped it, and the red circle I just pulled from shapes. So I used the shape, and then I circled the ice cream. I can do this really quick just to give you a quick example. If I wanted this one, I would do that, and then obviously like I want to be able to see it, so I'd go to my paint can and just hit transparent, and then I can change the color of the circle to red, and I can change the thickness here. Okay, so that's how I circled the ice cream. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that one because we want the little Italian ice here to be circled. And then you'll see here, and I did this on purpose just so that you all can see. You'll see there's another shape on top. Okay, that's my transparent image. And that is really the most important thing for a lot of these interactive games is your transparent image. Okay. Um, so for me, I always make sure afterwards that I test everything out. Obviously, I know we all do that before we put anything out for our kids. But you really have to be diligent as to where this shape is. So I'm actually going to delete the shape for right now, just so I can show you how to do it. Okay. For this one, it's also a little different than the other ones because you're going to need a transparent shape over your answer box, and you're going to need a transparent shape around the rest of the slide as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my square and I'm going to stretch it almost over the whole thing. And again, just like we did with the circle, I'm going to make it transparent. Okay, and I'm just going to move it over so that I have access to this. What I did was for the money, and I did do this with a lot of my shapes and my images that I'm using, um, is I go to just regular Google image and I typed in dollar. Okay. If you can find one that's already transparent, obviously that's going to make your life a lot easier. Unfortunately, in the teacher world, as we all know, there's that ugly white background in most of the images that we really, really um, want to use. So a great website is called remove.bg. okay? And you'll know that you're on the right website because I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's like this, okay? So if you just upload or drop an image here, you can download the image without the white background on it, which is really great. And this is a free source, a free resource. I always try to use free resources in all of my PDs because, you know, as teachers, we really don't get paid a lot to begin with. And the last thing that I want is for teachers to be spending their hard-earned money on things that, you know, they don't really need to be spending their money on. Oh wow, I see people from as far as El Salvador. That's where my husband is from, actually. We were there 2 summers ago, and unfortunately have a canceled trip coming up in August because of COVID. Really sad. Um, but so I have my transparent shape here, okay, and I moved it over, and then you'll see here I have another transparent shape, and I'm going to remove the links that I have on here because I want to show you how to do it from scratch. Okay, so I just have another shape, and I put that over top of my dollar. Okay, and I want to make sure that that transparent shape is in front of everything else. Okay, so if you're not sure, it doesn't hurt to just right click over the image, go to order, and then click on bring to front. And make sure you do that for both of the transparent shapes. If you had 3 options you wanted them to choose from, then you would do it for all 3. Okay, so now I know that those 2 clear boxes are in the front. I can move my other transparent box over. Okay, and I'm just going to keep it, I'm not going to line it up perfectly because I want you all to see that it's there. Okay, and when I click on my shape, if you right click, you're going to go to link. Once you click link, you'll see like this is where you would put a URL. You're not going to do that for this. You're going to click on where it says slides in this presentation. Okay, and you're going to click on the slide that has, like, this is the wrong answer, obviously. So I want it to go to slide number 4, which is my error message that says try again. So I'm going to click right there and I'm going to click apply. Then for this one, this is the correct answer. So I want this one to link to slide number 5 over here. You say it says good job. So again, I'm just going to right click. I'm going to click link. And then I'm going to go down to where it says slide number 5 and hit apply. Now, if you really want to make this, I guess, foolproof for students that get a little click happy, there's this the transparent shape in the back. What you can do is you can make sure you're clicked on it and then go to link. And you're going to link this slide to itself. So this is slide number 3, and I'm just going to link it to slide number 3. This way, if the students click anywhere else on the slide besides where the answers are, it'll bring them just back to the same slide. And I'm going to put this into present mode just to show all of you that. Okay. So why the transparent shape? I hope that I hope I just explained that for you guys. So watch now. If I click here, you see, it kind of like the screen like moves a little bit, but it doesn't go anywhere because it's bringing you right back to the same slide. So this way, otherwise, if you didn't have that, you know, when you click on a slide in a presentation, it'll just bring you to the next slide. You definitely don't want that to happen because this is what actually makes that transparent slide is what makes the game work. And then here, if I click on the wrong answer, it says try again. Okay, now I have to go back to this slide here and I have to make sure that those bring me to the slides that they need to be. So for the wrong answer, okay, which is this, I want it to bring me back to my question, okay, because then it's going to give the students an opportunity to try it again. Okay, so I'm going to hit link, and then that would be slide number 3. Okay, so the wrong answer is going to bring me back to slide 3 when I click it. Okay, and again, this has a transparent shape over it. And then for slide number 5, I want it to bring me to the slide that says congratulations. Okay, so in my original I have, you know, obviously more questions, but just to teach you, like, you know, we have a lot to go over and I want to make sure that we can fit as much in as possible. Okay, I'd say to get your bang for your buck, but I would never charge teachers to do this. So here we go. So we're going to link this to slide number 6. Okay, and then hit apply. Now you'll notice when we go back and I click this, it's wrong. If I click again, it'll bring me back to the question. And when I click the correct answer, it says good job. Okay. And then, you know, in a full version of this, you would have more questions, but for this, and yes, there is a way to hide the slides. Um, as you can see, I'm getting a little bit better with looking at your questions and then doing this at the same time. This is like the fourth or the fifth live PD that I've done. So if you wanted to hide these, now when you share this with your students, I would share it in present mode. So if I can show you that really quickly, if I just go to share here, okay, and then it says, I'm going to change this to anyone with a link. And I want to make sure that it just says view. Okay, I don't want to give anybody the ability to change it because, you know, students will just click and move things. Okay, and I'm going to copy the link. Now, if I open up a new window here and I paste that, okay, I can get rid of everything from edit on and I can just write present. Now watch what happens when I hit enter. It opens up my slideshow or automatically in present mode. Okay, if it was just the game, it would have just opened up from the beginning of the game. And you can share it with the students like that, so then you don't have to worry about um, them having to hit present to start the game. Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay, and this is how you would do, like I said, the money counting game. You can also change this. You could do any type of theme you wanted. If there was a picture you wanted, you know, you just have to make sure, again, like I said, that there is a transparent image covering the rest of the slide, and then your answer, the button, okay, is going to be in the front. Now, if I just needed words on here, if the response was something written, I wouldn't need to put a second transparent slide over top. The only reason I did it for this is because it's an image. So the same thing, like if you wanted them, if it was food, such as some type of food, and they had to answer, you would have to put another transparent box over top of that. Um, yes, I put the link. I put the link. The transparent shape is the link. So you see when I click on it here, it's like it pops up underneath. Right, the image is actually underneath that. Okay, so now moving on. So that was the money counting game. And now we're going to move on to an escape room. And again, this one is kind of elementary, but I will show you an example of one that I did that would be for secondary, because I know it's not just all middle and elementary school teachers that are joining right now. I have here, this was my sweet escape. So the precept behind this was that students were stuck in the candy store and they were told that they had to try to escape the candy store with as much candy as possible. Um, so my questions look something like this, and I'll pop it into present mode, but I don't have anything linked because I wanted to show all of you my process without going through creating an entire one. And you see again, I purposely, if you look at the line around, I do have that transparent shape. The only thing that's in the front on this one is the shape with the response. Okay, so you see right now, it just goes to the next slide. So I'm going to show all of you what I did. And if you're wondering about my rainy day here, all I did was I used that Remove BG website and I found a picture of an open window. And I think that's exactly what I typed in the search box, open window. And then I just took all the white background out and then I went into Google Images and I typed in, I think rain GIF, and then you'll see. And then I just kind of like search through. You're just going to want to click on whatever ones you're looking at because you want to make sure that it's an actual GIF. Sometimes it says rain, but then when you click on them, they don't actually move. There's no animation. And then from here, I just right click and save the image to my computer. And when I went back into, when you go back into your slide, you would go to insert image and then upload from computer. And that's how yes, the rainstorm, it's a GIF. And in my original version, I had all different types of weather. So outside of one window, it was snowing. And again, the GIF, it just adds a little bit of interactive, you know, it's fun. It's fun for them to look at, you know, no different than us. We love things that are aesthetically pleasing. The students, it catches their eye and their interest as well. So for this one, I'm just going to link this. So this is obviously the correct answer. And we want it to lead us to the chocolate, and that's on slide 9. So for this one, again, I did not have to put a clear transparency over top of this because I was able to just type the words into the shape. Now, word of caution with this, and this is very important because I also do it's kind of a simulated classroom app that students and parents can use where you can house all of your important information. You can make parent signups, you can put your contact information, weekly homework, and it'll pop up on their screens using Google Slides. You can make an application where they can find all of that information and you can update it as you go. I have a video for that as well. Somebody had just reached out to me. She was having a horrible time, and we were trying to figure out, we're troubleshooting through email and messages what was going on. And it was because instead of just using, like you see here, and I'm going to delete where it says rainy, I don't have a text box there. When you create a shape, you can double click in the shape and then just type in the shape. And that's what you want to do. If you put a text box over top of it, you're then layering it and it won't function the way that it's supposed to. So yeah, I can do one from scratch. So what I can do here is I'm just going to delete the shape, okay? And I can move her over, and I have my clear image. So now I'm just going to make sure that I'm just going to move this all over to the side for right now. I don't have that GIF saved to my computer anymore, but all I did was for the candy shop, I just Google searched candy shop background and until I found one that I liked, and that was the one. You see this shape here. It's a little transparent looking, so if you insert a shape, okay, like I did there, and you pick whatever shape you want. Let's just say I wanted it that solid color, okay? From here, you're just going to go to format. So I think, let me just, oh, here it is, format. And then you're going to go to format options. Okay. And no, it's not there. Hold on 1 second. Go to custom. There we go. Okay. If you go to custom, here it is. This will make your image as transparent as you want. So if you just wanted it with a hint of turquoise, see, now you can really see through it. Okay. And that's what I did. And again, I kind of just wanted them to see the image in the background just because I loved it so much. Um, okay. So that is how I made the background. And then again, see here, I put a text box. Now I could have typed in it, um, but I was putting a clear, transparent, I was putting a transparent shape over the top, so I really wasn't worried about whether or not I typed into the shape itself or whether I just put a text box. And sometimes it is easier if you are able to, without messing up the game, to use a text box because it gives you a little more freedom to really kind of like move it around wherever you want. Okay. So like I said, the GIF, that was from Google Images. And then again, you just layer it. I just made sure that the window was in front. Okay, and they'll go in the order that you place them. So the newest image that you add, whether it's a shape from Google Slides or an image from your computer, it'll automatically go to the front. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and then to put the little answer box, I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, I just went to shape. Okay, and I chose the rounded square. Okay, and then I picked the color, and I don't remember what color I chose. Okay, it's going to be at the bottom. Just wanted to make sure. Because normally what I do is I make one and then I just copy and paste it. Okay, I chose the color. And then, like I said, if you double click, all right, and then obviously I would just have to go back and change my font. And I don't remember, oh, it was Architect's Daughter. That's like one of my favorite fonts. I don't know why, I just absolutely love it. Okay, and then I wanted it centered. So if you click the three dots over here, this is where you would go to center it or put it to the left or the right of your shape. Okay. And again, I'm not going to sit and mess around with this too much to make it perfect because we have a lot to cover. And then I just looked for a Bitmoji that had something to do with rain. So if you go up to your extension, if you don't have the Bitmoji extension, I do have a video on how to download that as well. For the most part, I would say that I almost have a video to do anything with the Bitmojis. So I typed in, I think, rain. Yep. And there she goes. And there's my Bitmoji with the umbrella. And I was able to find one of these for each of the ones that I did. I think the one where it was snowing, she was all bundled up in a huge jacket with a scarf and a hat. And so once I make my shape here, okay, like I said, this is the correct answer, and I want it linked to slide number 9. So just the same as we did for the money counting game, I'm going to link this to slide number 9 and hit apply. Okay, and then slide number 10 is our error message. So I'm going to link this to slide number 10 and click apply. And just like I told you again with the last one, I want to make my transparent image. I want to make sure that that is linked to itself. And sometimes you see here the link doesn't pop up for you when you right click. If that happens, no big deal. All you have to do is go to insert and then link, and it'll pop up that way. Again, you know what? Technology is not perfect. That happens. But just so you know, there's more than one way to do a lot of these things. So don't get frustrated. Sometimes it's just a matter of looking in a different place. And this was slide number 8. So I want this link to slide number 8. Okay, perfect. There we go. So now I'm going to follow my own advice. I want to make sure that my boxes are in the front. So I'm just going to go, and it's better to be safe than sorry. And you see it's already in the front. I want to make sure that my other one is in the front as well. See, this one was not. So now it's in the front and I don't have to worry about it not working. So now if I pop this into present mode, actually before we do that, let me link these. So number 9 is the correct answer. I already have my transparency over the top. And I want that to go to slide number 11 because that is like, oh yeah, you won. And then for this one, I want this linked back to the question, which is slide number 8. And again, you know, it doesn't have to be the candy shop. It can be, so I've done ice cream. You can do another example that you'll see in a little bit that I did was escaping the last day of school. So uh, let's test it out now. Let's just make sure that we're all good. So here, what type of weather do you see outside the window? If I hit sunny, it's not correct. If I click this, okay, I just want to show you if I click outside, because of that transparent image that we added, it'll stay right on the page. Okay, so it's somebody called it lamination for Google Slides, and I thought that was really cute. Okay, and then there you go. You see, this brings me to the end. Okay, and again, I would have had more examples to go through if this was a full version, but right now I just want to show all of you, and I will post the link for this exact slide deck that I'm using. I will post it in the chat at the very, very end of all of this, just so that, you know, if you want to make a copy for yourself and then play around with it to kind of just, you know, make a comparison when you start doing yours to see if everything is the same, you'll have all of that. So don't no worries about that. I just want to go back and make sure I'm not missing any important questions here. And again, you know, like I said, there's like 177 of you right now on here. So if I miss a question, you know, feel free to reach out to me. I'll also put my email in the end. And I never have an issue with people reaching out to me. When I say that, you know, if you have questions, reach out, I really mean it. Uh, uh, okay, perfect. Um, Okay, we're good. All right, so now we're going to move on to the trivia game that I created. So this is a really cute idea, and I can actually pull up my original. Let me see, because I'd like to show you the original before we start playing with the other one. And I think I called it the Healthy Choices board game. Here we go. Now for this one, you don't need the game pieces because they'll only work if you have the students play with them not in present mode because they would have to move them. Um, but they're there if you like them. You know, if you think the students can handle moving them around and then having to click on the links that pop up when you actually click on the shape, then then that's fine. But like I said, they're not necessary. So if you look here, we're going to go. I'll put this into present mode. Okay, and if I have here the video, and I'll show you how to put the video in of the dice. Okay, so they click the dice once, and then they click again, and there's number 4. So they could click on number 4, and a picture will pop up. Okay, so what do you do if you have to sneeze or cough? Obviously, you don't leave your mouth open. You're going to cover. And I was able to find. Now you could just write answers. Okay, you don't have to use the Bitmojis. But like I said, I wanted to use the Bitmojis for this one, so that's what I did. And then it was correct. So then the next student would roll the dice, okay? And then you can actually make, let me see. I wanted to show you some of the other examples. Where are they? Okay, so here, I made one that was roll again. You can have skip a space or skip a turn, because, there's going to be a lot of questions on here. So if you find yourself running out of ideas of questions to use, then you make sure that you know, put some of the other types of like I said, roll again, skip a space, next player skips a turn. Okay, you can get pretty creative with these, but I'm going to show you how I did this. So here I have my game board, and all I did for this was I made one shape. So I took my square. Okay. Yes, the dice is a video, and I'll show you how to add that. So I'm going to put the shape in. Okay, and that's probably about the size that I would use. Okay, and then once you have it the size that you think you're going to need, you can always just copy and paste. Okay, so either Control or Command, depending on the type of computer you're using. If it's a Microsoft, Control C and then V, and you see another one pops up. If it's on a Mac, you can do Command. Okay, and then you can change the colors afterwards. Okay, but I can continue to hit Control V or Command V again if you're on a Mac to make more of these shapes. And then once you get to a corner shape, if you go back into shapes, you'll notice that right here where it says round single corner rectangle, those are your corner pieces. And somebody just asked, how do you let two kids play together? So when you post this into your platform, again, I use Google Classroom, and most of the software that I use, the tools are from Google. If you post it into Google Classroom, you can choose which students you want for like to have access to what it is like the assignment that you're posting. So if you wanted, like, let's say 3 or 4 students, you would just put those 3 or 4 students on that one activity, and then you'd post it again, make a copy and post it again, and then you would have the other students, like another group of students that would play on it. So that's how you would do that. Also, you can post the same one, and then when you post the game, it's just you would choose the option where it says make a copy for each student, and then they'll have a copy for themselves. And again, you can have it automatically go into present mode, like I had shown you with the other activity. This way, you don't have to worry about the student then having to go into present mode. So to put the dice, the dice piece into the game, all I did was I went up to insert and I went to video. And then once this loads, you'll see YouTube will pop up. So here it says, let's see, dice rolling. Okay, here's the one that I picked. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to double click that and it's going to pop up, and then you can resize it. You can make it as big or as small as you want, and you'll see when you click on it, it's taken a while to load up, but there you go. Okay, and then here you don't want to click this where it says autoplay when presenting because you don't want the dice to start going on its own. Okay, and there's no audio on this, so I don't have to worry about muting it. But that's it. So now it's in there. Okay, and I can move it around however I want. Um, so let's say that you were working with a small group, somebody's asking how you play it in real time. If you are on with the students, you can always supervise them while they're on. Otherwise, like, you know, this was an issue for me because the way that our distance learning was set up was the students could go on at any time to do their assignments. We would just post them. Again, I work at the high school level, so it's a little different. But if you wanted them to play this at the same time, it's also cute for a review. So it's just a different thing. So even if they wanted to play it by themselves, they don't really necessarily have to take turns. Um, but if you do have that type of setup where you're working with students at the same time, and like I said, you'd post it in advance with certain students in the group, and then they could log on and they can. I mean, they're not going to be able to play it, like you take a turn, I take a turn, but it's just something else unless you're with them. If you're on it with them and you say, okay, now it's so and so's turn, and then they sit and they click on it, then yes, it will work if you're presenting, but you would have to do it, you know, through a platform where you're able to have students on it with you and have it interactive. Um, oh, yeah, somebody was saying that they wish that they could insert spinners into Google. I guess the way around that is kind of just doing what I did with the video. So there's not as many options, but like I said, Google is free. So we kind of have to find ways around, I have PowerPoint as well, and I love PowerPoint. You can do so much more with it, especially with the animations. But it's just not as free, really. You have to pay to have PowerPoint. Uh, yeah, it is a great game for kids that finish early. Somebody asked if you can use a GIF dice. Well, the only thing with that is you can't start it and stop it on your own. The GIFs kind of just go on their own. So I really don't know how that would work. I definitely would. Um, yes, somebody mentioned that. Oh, you can't get Alice Keeler's dice thing to work. Oh, okay. Well, this. I honestly like. I've seen hers. I think this is easier. I think having the little video there for the kids to click, to start and stop is actually easier than having to play with the coding. Um, like I said, unless you have a platform where students are able to work on something together with you, um, and it's in live time, then something like this wouldn't work. But if that is something that you're able to do with your district, like I said, everybody's distance learning situations are extremely different, which is bizarre, but and that's the reality. And so if you're wondering how I made the shape here, all I did was, and again, let me see. Oh, see, I took a picture of this. So I'm going to go back to my original because I want to show you how I created that. And it's basically just a shape over a shape. So all I did was I just made a rectangle, and I chose the wrong one. I like the one with the rounded edges. So I just put that there, and I literally just copied and pasted a second one, and I minimized it, and I just lined it up so that it was at the top. And a nice little trick that I use because I like for things to be perfect. If let's say that this came over like this, you can always use the arrow keys to move your images, but sometimes it doesn't line up perfectly. If you wanted to just move one pixel at a time, you can always hold down your shift button when you're using your arrow keys, and that'll just move it a smidge at a time. This way you can get it into the right place. And again, I just, depending on how you want it to look, you can make your border lines thicker. So I made this to a 3 point and then just change the colors. So I think I used like this. Oh, wrong one. I think I used like one of these light red colors or something, maybe even the lighter one. Yep, there we go. And then I just double clicked and I typed in my answer. And again, when I put these in, these are going to be the only things in the front of your transparent shape, okay, is your responses. And then those would be linked to your correct answers, your error message and your answer is correct message. Um, so as far as getting the dice function in your toolbar, I know that Alice Keeler has something on her website about that. I'm not really sure how to put the coding in for it. I do know that some people prefer the dice, but I think it just gives you a number. It's not an actual dice that rolls. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong if they're familiar with the site. But that's why I like to use the video instead because it just gives the students like more of a visual of the dice being rolled. Uh, okay. All right, so then that's how I made the board game. And again, like I said, I just use all types of questions. And this one I geared towards, being healthy, making healthy decisions, obviously because of everything that's going on here. And that's what I did with that. Okay, so now the next one that I have for all of you is a drag and drop. So again, this is for elementary, but I'll give you an example of something you can do for older students. Like if I had a map and I use this to make a map, then I could use the little teardrops, like where you're looking on a map that says you are here. Okay, and then I can ask students to drag the, the marker to places that they'd like to visit. I mean, like, because the possibilities are endless. Um, so for the drag and drop, like the example that I'm showing here is to sort the fruits and the vegetables into a basket. So I used Remove BG. I found these images on Google Image, the ones that I wanted, and then I put the directions at the top. Now for the drag and drop, because the students are going to be moving things on the slide, the important thing to remember with this one is that you want everything on your slide first, except for the pieces that the students are going to drag and drop. Because you don't want them to be able to mess with anything else on the slide, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to um, go to File, okay, and then you're going to go to Download. So you can download this as a JPEG, okay, and I'm going to make another slide here. I'm just going to add one because I want to show you, and we can get rid of all this. And then I'm going to go to Insert. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to Background because I want it in the background. So I know that you're able to lock images in other programs such as PowerPoint. So this is kind of how you lock an image in Google Slides. So this is like a little trick. So I'm going to go to Choose Image, and I'm going to go to Browse because it's on my computer. Okay, and I think that this should be the picture. If not, I might have just gone someplace else. Yep, there it is. Okay, done. All right, see, now I can't do anything with it. That is now my permanent background for that image, and the students won't be able to move it. So then from there, what I did, and what you can do is I'm going to go to search, obviously insert image, and then I'm going to search the web because I don't have images saved already on my computer for this. okay? But I just typed in the little search bar at the top. Here, I'll show you again. Oh, it's popping up automatically. Is Apple with transparent background. And so the options will pop up, and they may not all be transparent, okay? But let's just try this one. Okay, awesome. It's actually transparent, okay? And then I would just do that. Now, there are more options when you actually open a new window and you go to Google Image. You'll find that there are a lot more images that are available to you than if you search through here. But these are sometimes a little safer to use, okay, especially if you're worried about copyright. Um, and that's something, like we're all adults, you'll have to look to see, what you're supposed to be using, what you're not supposed to be using. If it's just for individual use, it's usually not a problem. Okay, I'm not selling any of this. So to use with my students, it would be okay to take an image of an apple. You can also drag and drop the image from the download bar. Yes. Okay, good. And then I would just do the same thing and I would put other fruits and vegetables here. Now, what will happen when the students go to use it, the only thing that they're able to move are the images at the bottom. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna kind of fakey lock images in place by making everything else our background. Okay, and then this is actually cute because what you can do is if you're using Google Classroom, for example, you could do what I had said before with the board game where you can have each student make a copy. So you'll have each student have their own copy, and then when they submit at the end, it'll be submitted with fruits and vegetables where they place them. So that's how you'll be able to tell, use it as an actual assessment tool to drive instruction because that'll be your data. You'll be able to see what the students did with the pieces. Whereas with some of the other games, obviously if they made it to the end, like they were able to do it, but you don't know how many times they got the answer wrong before they were able to reach the end of the game. So this is the nice thing with this is that you can even do it where you can put a topic at the top, a question, and then you can put like true or false, and the students have to move. You can assign them a number or an image. Okay, again, in elementary school, sometimes next to their names when they're learning how to recognize their names. In kindergarten, they'll be given. Some students will have the blue square or the yellow circle, and you can have them drag um, their answer to wherever it is, like the true or false or yes or no. You can even do it with the older kids. And the great thing that I wanted to show you is, and I'm going to go back because I think I have it on my board game, is for the little ones, obviously they're not reading at that time. So if you wanted, you might not be able to hear it right now, but you can add audio. And I turned my computer audio down so that you could not hear that feedback that was going on before. But there's a way to add an audio file. I use a website called Vocaroo, and I'll just, quickly just go there. And this is where you're able to record, and it's free, of course. You can record little snippets of your voice, okay, to give verbal directions. And I have a video on that as well, so make sure that you check that out if you're not sure how to use Vocaroo, okay. And in the video, I actually, because I teach E&L, I do like to provide at least the directions in multiple languages. So in that video, it shows you not only how to change the image of the little speaker that pops up, because otherwise this is all you're going to get is a little circle with that image. Um, so I show and I demonstrate in that video how to change the image as well as how to use your translator tool that's on your phone to have the directions read in languages other than English. So like I said, if you have English language learners, it's a great way and you don't have to speak. Sometimes the translations are not perfect, but the students are always very appreciative. Uh, it's enough that they're able to understand what the directions are, what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So that's just another option, something you can do. Now, everything that I've showed you so far has been in Google Slides. My last example that I have here is something that I'm going to be using, and this is more advanced, so um, it's not something that like I mean I had an issue in the beginning like learning how to do this, but it's using Google Sites and Google Forms. Some people are saying that they still can't hear me. Yeah, some people are saying they can, and some people are saying they can't. Yes, it's being recorded, so just know that you're about um, almost an hour into it, so you can always just go back and just watch the beginning. Um, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this into present mode because I want to show you my example first. Okay, so I'm going to click because I linked it to my activity. So this is Google Sites, and this is another escape room. And again, like I said, I teach ENL students, so I made this kind of like as a way for them to be practicing their English, where at the same time it's the background story of this is that basically one day they woke up and they realized that they were in some foreign land where they didn't speak the language. And you have to practice the language, which happens to be English, in order to get yourself back home. So there's a bunch of tasks that they have to perform first in order to get back to, their homeland. So here, there's a link, and it'll link you to a Google form. Okay, so I'm just going to type in my email address, which I told all of you that, feel free always to reach out to me. So I'm not going to blur that afterwards. Okay, so here they have to choose the correct form of to be. So this one is I am. So they're just going to type in am. And when I click submit, it says great job, here's your next clue. And when I go to the next clue, it's going to bring me to my next Google site and then clue two. And you'll see I did use Google Translate. I put this in Spanish as well as French because those are the languages that my students currently all speak. All of my students are from Central America, some from South America, and then I have students from Haiti. Okay, once you read here, now the next task is that you need to get your passport. So you have to answer the question correctly in order to get your passport. And then they realize that they need money, so they have to go to the bank. So they have to. There would be no way for you to make a copy of it. So that's why I'm gonna show you how I did this from scratch. But all of the other things that I showed you that were on the slide deck, you'll have access to those. Um, so let me just go back here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new Google site. And there's a couple ways to do that, But I'm just going to go into my drive because I know the options that pop up this is like some people call it the waffle. The options that pop up there, not everybody has Google Sites that pop up there automatically. So I'm just going to go to Google Sites, and this is going to be a new Google site. There's actually, oh, and I apologize, you guys might hear the fire siren in the background going off. I live very close to the firehouse. Um, there is a video on how to create the money counting game, the Sweet Escapes escape room. What else? There's a few of them on my channel that you can. If there's a specific question though about how to create them that I didn't go over, then feel free to ask. But here, once you start your new site, you can call this intro if you want. Okay, because this is your intro slide. You can type in a title. So I'm just going to type in escape room. Okay. You can, if there was another text box you wanted to add, okay, here, and you can just type in anything that you want. You could type in the backstory. If you really wanted to, you could always make a video and you could put a video in here. That's another option. You can add images. So you see here on mine, I added my Bitmoji, where am I? And if there's a title that you want over top of your Bitmoji, let's say I wanted to type in where's the map. There's no Bitmoji for that. However, they will automatically create some of them for you, and then the words "Where's the map" will pop up. If you're not happy with the options, you can always copy it and then just type it in again. And sometimes you see there's different options that are going to pop up. And then I just keep doing that until I find one that I like. So if you're wondering how to do that, that's how I was able to get some of the ones that have some of the words above them. So if you're looking for certain Bitmojis and you don't find them, that's why. That's what I did in order to get them. So going back to this, okay, um, let's just pretend that I had everything in this that I wanted. I had put my intro at the bottom. I added my pictures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click publish here, okay, because that's basically like the equivalent of save. So let's see. You know what? Did I okay, publish? And I can just type in escape room. It's already taken. So I can type in Mazarino escape room. Okay. And then I'm going to hit publish. Okay. So from here, okay, now that I published it, what I want to do is I want to, and I just have to find it. I think it's here. Okay, duplicate site. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to click duplicate site. Okay, copy of intro, yes. Okay, duplicate. Now, that is going to be sent to my email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my email address. And because there's really nothing on it, it's, I don't have lots of things linked to it. It'll just take a few seconds. Say it says your copy is already ready. So it's already loading my copy. Okay. Success, your copy of intro is ready, and I'm going to go to it. So now the great thing about this is that if you've already done so much on your first one, this is how you make a copy. So instead of just being able to go into the settings and make a copy, this is what you do. And it cuts a lot of time out of preparing these because if you already, and it would be nice if I spelled that correctly. um, if you've already taken a lot of time to put in certain images or to type a description or an introduction or directions, okay, you already have everything, especially if you change the colors and you want it to stay consistent. You don't want to have to start from scratch every single time. So literally just by duplicating it and sending it to yourself, that takes it out. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Google Forms. Okay, and you can always go to, I'll just show you how to do this. You can go back to your Google Drive to go to a new Google form. You can type in forms.new, okay? And this will bring you to a new Google form as well. So it's just a different way. Like I said, just if you're doing it differently, if you're doing it by searching in the waffle or by going into your Google Drive, they're all fine. It's really whatever you prefer. And then I can type in a question here. So I can type in uh, what is Mrs. Mazariego's birthday? Okay. Obviously, you wouldn't use a question like this, but just to show you. And then I'm going to go to short answer. Okay, so the little drop menu here gives you all types of answers. You're going to want to make it a short answer. Obviously, you're going to require that they answer the question. That's important. Okay, and then you're going to go to the three little dots here. So allow you to insert audio. Yes, you can for the audio question, and I'm sorry to jump back to that really quick. I just don't want to forget to answer Jessica's question. So when you do the audio, they have to click on the button in order to start the audio if you choose that. So on the side where it said that, you just make sure that you choose that it's on the click. And then the students, you can put one on every single slide. So I know like my daughter is in first grade and her teachers did that. So each slide had the directions where the teacher was reading explaining the directions or instructions to the students. So yeah, you could do the same thing with reading, which is really nice. Um, so you're going to go to the three dots here after you click required, and you're going to go to response validation. Okay, and that's where you're going to um, type in text. Okay, because my answer is going to actually mine's going to contain a number. So it's just easier for me to do it as text. So, and I want it to contain. Okay, because even if they like put an extra space in the beginning or at the end, or they use uppercase or lowercase letters, you just want it to contain. And then the text is going to be February. I'm just going to put February, okay, as an answer. Okay, if you wanted to, if they were math questions, you could always just type in a number, and then contains, and then you can put the correct answer there, and then that'll be fine. And then the text that I wanted to say if the answer is wrong is sorry, try again. Okay, so there's my question. Now I could always put up here task one. Okay, this will pop up there, task one automatically, because you want to make sure that you keep these organized and you want to keep names on all of them. So once I do that, the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to come up here to the little settings gear. Okay, if you want email addresses collected, okay, then you would click this box. If you don't, then you don't have to. You want to make sure that this here, where it says limit to one response, you do not want that clicked. You do not, because if the students get the answer wrong, you want them to be able to click, to try again. So then you're going to go to presentation, okay, and you're going to unclick this because you don't want that, and then you're just going to hit save, okay, and then from here you want the link. So here, once you click on send, you're going to go to the link, okay, just copy the link, and then what you can do is you can go back to your, this is my first escape room, okay, and then I can type here, click here to enter your first mission, or however you want to call it. It really depends on the theme that you want to come up with. Um, okay, and there's the link. Okay, I'm going to publish this. Because I want it to save. Okay, and if you're not sure, you can always just click publish. Okay, to make sure that your changes are saved. Okay, and it's showing me here that they weren't. So now I'm good. So now I can go back to review my changes. Okay, so there's the link. The link is going to be there. The students will be able to click on it. And then you can also always go into here. It's like the screen inside of a screen if you want to preview what it's going to look like for your students. Okay, and then there you'll see that the link is there. So the students will have it. And then that's basically the same thing you're going to do, no matter how many questions you want. Um, then I can go here, okay, where it says, not task, I'm sorry, I wanted to go to uh, my second escape room site. So from here, you're just going to type in the directions for your second question. So like, let's say that the next part was, whatever you wanted to do, depending on your theme. You would then put the second one, and again, you would then go back to your Google Forms and create another Google form, and you're going to just repeat the same thing. You're going to make another duplicate. Okay, so this is the copy, right? So this is the second Google site that I made. Okay, so once I get all of my questions and pictures in here the way that I want it again, I'm going to go to publish. Okay, so I'll publish it, and then again, I would go and I would duplicate site, and it would go right to my email again, and that would be the third one. And you're just going to keep going back and forth. The other thing that's really important is that this would be my second. One second. sorry about that. This would be my second Google site. I want to make sure that I go back to my Google form, and I'm going to need the link for this room here. So let's just publish this. Make sure that everything is saved. So, okay, perfect. Then I'm going to go to the link here. I'm going to copy my link, and I'm going to go back to that first Google form that I made. And then from here, what I want to do is I'm going to want to make a confirmation message. So let me just go back. Oh, this is okay, but this is the link. Okay. My confirmation message. Okay, so back under the settings, I go to presentation, and then it says your response has been recorded. I'm going to type in there, great job. Here is the link to your next mission. Okay, and then this is the link that's going to take them to the second Google Sites page. And then that's where, again, they'll end up having the next question, like the next instructions to go to their next clue. I'm just looking here, making sure no one has any questions. Yeah, so each clue is going to be on a duplicate site. Yeah, and like I said, you can just start a new site if you want. But if you've already got your themes and the text that you want to use, the fonts and everything else, it's just easier to just duplicate the site than it is for you to start all over again. Um, I'm just looking here at the questions really quick before I move on. I don't have I don't have a video for this one alone. I can always make one. That's not a big deal. Where is the link? Just trying to read this. The link, or what is the page with the three interactive games? Oh, at the end, I will just copy and paste the links that I have. I'll copy and paste the link to my Google Slides where I'm actually presenting. I'll show this right here. Okay. So I'll post the link for this at the end, and then the resources for those three games that I said that you can have access to are here. So you'll be able to make a copy of really any of this stuff. I mean, if you want the whole game, you could just take them. Like I said, I have no issues sharing. So if you don't want to recreate the wheel and you just want to use the ones I have, those will be available for you. But you also have the access to this. So if you kind of just wanted to play around with it, make a copy and see how I did things, to play and compare it to yours, you'll have that as well. So I hope that answered your question. Uh, So if they get the answer wrong, they're getting the answer wrong on the Google form, and they'll have the option to just try to put in a new answer. Um, Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Catherine. I must have misunderstood. I thought you were asking about the audio file in Google Slides, not Sites. So I'm not actually sure if you're able to put an audio file in Google Sites, but you can add videos. So a way around that would be to just record your voice in a video, like don't use any images. You can always cover your webcam or whatever, and then upload it to YouTube and just put it as like only people with the link can view it, and then you can just copy the video into the slides, and then they can hear your voice that way. So that's kind of like a trick, I guess, or a hack to get around that. You could always do that. So was there any other questions about any of the ones? Oh, I wanted to show you an example of one that I had done for a webinar an international webinar that I had done a while back. Again, like this was one that I made exclusively for the people that I was doing the webinar for. It was just for the participants, excuse me. But I can show it to you just to show you that you can make these secondary. I'm just not going to play the video because there is music in the background. And then YouTube will give me a hard time if I try to upload this later on. They won't let me upload the recording of my PD. Okay, so here, um, summer break edition. This is the example that I gave you earlier. It says, will you pass the test and begin summer vacation, or will you fail and end up in summer school? And so I'm not going to play the video. Like I said, there's music in the background, but it's basically the teacher says that she has an important announcement to make and that the students are all like curious as to what it was. And then it says that only the students that pass their final exam will be allowed to go on spring break or summer break. The rest of them are going to be stuck in summer school. And then from there, the students will go to different questions. And you can make this, like I said, using PEMDAS or talking about the different types of rain clouds. Like this is like upper middle to lower high school, and you can change the answers. And again, it's the same thing. These are shapes. So remember, the only place you have to have your transparent shape is just you only need one for this, and then your buttons need to be in front. And you see these would be linked to the error or the correct message slides. And I was able to ask questions about Thomas Paine. Like I said, this is more secondary. And then at the end, you either end up in summer school or you end up on summer break. So that was something that I was able to do for people that were interested in, like, an example of a secondary topic. That's what I did for it. Just want to make sure I didn't miss. Want to make sure I didn't miss any questions here. You guys are so welcome. Like I said, I really love doing this. I work for a Title I school, so a lot of our students, come from not great situations at home, or they come from impoverished families, um, and I relate. That was me when I was young. So I actually was blessed to be able to come back and work at the high school that I graduated from. It was my teachers who inspired me to go into education and become an educator myself, and obviously coming back, I just, you always want what's best for the kids. And like I said, I work with students that are not from the United States, so it's very scary for them. They come here, they don't have family, they don't know the language. They need a voice. They need a voice. So it's been such an honor and a pleasure to work with those kids and to be that voice for them. So I also know how scary this has been for a lot of teachers. They have been thrown into this tech world kind of headfirst. Everyone was expected. I mean, some people, like I left on a Friday and found out Sunday I wasn't going back to work. So for a lot of teachers that were placed in examples like that, they were expected to literally change their lesson plans like in the course of a few days and start teaching online. And it was a big task, and it was a lot to be expected of a lot of people, especially if they weren't so tech savvy or comfortable with whatever platform it was that the district decided to use. So I kind of stepped in and decided that I was going to help not only my colleagues, but whoever, people all over the world. And I've connected with people from Cairo and Australia, uh, British Columbia, Philippines. I mean, it's been such an honor and a privilege. If you are not a member of the Facebook page, Bitmoji Craze for Educators, I'm one of the moderators. The creator, Dr. Alatisha Kane, invited me to help moderate the page, and like that was such an honor to do that because for those of you that are not familiar with them, we have over 130,000 members, all teachers, and they share everybody on there. They have the understanding that put on there, it's for everyone to use, and they share so freely with each other that it's really beautiful. It really is. So if you're not on, check it out. Like I said, sometimes, everybody's situation at home is different. You might not have time to recreate the wheel with everything. So I teach you how, if that's what you want to do. But if not, like I said, there are people out there that are willing to help all of you. So please, um, don't ever hesitate while I'm just finishing up here. Somebody was asking about the slides, so I'm going to copy that link. I want to make sure that I get into the chat box for all of you. Let's just get this popped up here. Okay, so I just put the link to my slide deck, so you guys have all of that. I do just Bitmoji stuff. If you go to my channel, I do have all of my live PDs have cute little names. So this one I called Just Playing. I also have one that's Bitmoji Basics. I have Bitmoji Beyond Basics. I have one to make custom jewelry for your Bitmojis, and they're all right on my channel. So the channel is the same as the link that you had today, just doesn't have the /live at the end. So it's just here, and I'll type it in the chat box. So just youtube.com/C/my big old long name, Lisa Marie Mazariego, and that's it. So that's my YouTube channel. Just make sure that if you haven't done so already, that you hit that subscribe button. There's a little bell. If you hit the notifications, you'll get updated when I add new material, new tutorials to my channel. They'll just send you a little message letting you know that there's something new there to watch if you choose to watch it. So I really hope that you all enjoyed the webinar. Like I said, if there were questions that I did not get to, you have my email, okay? And I'll even add it in the slides. I'll add it in that last resource slide on my slide deck, just in case you forget. Okay, it'll be right here at the end. You should be able to see it as I'm typing it. This way you can reach out with any questions. Just make sure you write in the topic of the email, just write YouTube PD, just so that I know where you're coming from. I don't want to kind of look over, yes, spam. Okay, so again, thank you all so much for joining. It's been a pleasure, and I